Start.
In this session, we will discuss about the New York Five. The New York Five refers to a group of five New York City architects, their names being Peter Eisenman, Michael Graves, Charles Gothame, John Hedgehoog, and Richard Mayer. They were also known as the Whites because for their purist stance towards modernism. Their work was the subject of case meeting at the Museum of Modern Art, which was organized by Arthur Dexter and Colin Rowe in 1969. Later, their works were also published in a book which was known as The Five Architects. They together formed a group because they used to share a common intellect, a common inclination towards the purest form of architectural modernism, which was started by Le Corbusier, and they tried to move back to the Corbusian architecture because after the World War II and the decline of international style and the rise and the peak of the postmodern era, many architects wanted to revive this purism. And generally, if we see the work of these New York Five, we'll see that the most dominant feature is the building was to be in the whites. The elements were generally planar and the forms were used in an individual style. They were the follower of Corbusian. They were trying to revive purism, but they were not the blind follower of Le Corbusier. They had their own individual style. The first architect which we are going to start is John Hedgehoog. He was an American architect and an artist. He was an educator. He was born in 1929 and he was the dean of Cooper University School of Art and Architecture, associated with theoretical works of New York Five, and then he turned to more of research oriented complexities and works. And today what we are going to discuss is the Bauhaus or the Wall House 2 of John Hedgehoog. John Hedgehoog always believed that architecture is the first and foremost an art. It has to be a sculpture, and then it comes to its basic point, that is the architecture. And that is why his response to the buildings was more of sculptural form or more of artistic form, and then he jotted down these ideas and brought it together and formed his buildings. So this Wall House 2 redefines the limits of architectural design as a function of context in both time and culture. 28 years after the completion of the initial drawings and 1 year after the death of architect John Hedgehoog, the construction began in a totally new environment. Actually, this Bauhaus was designed in 1973 in Connecticut, and it was not built there. It was built instead in Groningen, Netherlands in 2001. Design was same, but the scale of the house was scaled up to nearly 20% in order to meet the requirements, and now the built up area of the total house is around 2500 square feet. The house was dominated by as you can see in plan also, the solid line, that is the line which depicts the, if I show you here in the arrow, this concrete wall. This is a 3-story wall which is 14 meters high and 18.5 meters long, and it also acts as a connector between the horizontal axis of the corridor and the vertical axis of those 3 balloon-like structures. What were these balloon-like structures? Actually, these were the structures who were holding the amenities. If you see here, the yellowish structure is the living room. The center one, which is the bluish, it is the dining, and the green one is the bedroom. The bedroom was kept moreover rectangular, but it has rounded corners. And the blue and the living room, the green one, they were free flowing, and even the roof of the green room was not flat roof, it was an undulating roof. The blue houses the bathroom. The green tower which you show, which is rising up, is the circulation. The brown is the staircase, and the last, which is the brick color, that is the studio. Now what I have pointed out is the arrow. The whole idea about this house was to make the visitor enter from a long narrow stairway and then to the corridor and then to the main circulation area. So this was a dramatic entrance of the Wall House 2. Here are the plans where the different amenities are being marked, and you can see here what amenities were on what levels. Now the colors he had used more or less all the colors of the palette. He has the yellowish, he has the purplish, greenish, bluish, but he always said ki this wall is a neutral element, and that is why he has always kept the walls in the grays. Then the spaces, if you see, are this organically placed or the biomorphically placed, and this gives you an appearance of a balloon filled with air or gas and pressed tensely against the wall. Every space appears cantilever, but actually this was not cantilever. This was supported on the column grid, and there was a long corridor that leads from one end to the other end. So this would wind off our, these are the plans and the different views of the Bauhaus. Now we come to the Charles Gothame.